Hello and welcome to TB3 Sports Talk episode 53. And, Rays season's coming to a close, but that just means that football is on the way and football is essentially here. So, got a little bit of Rays to talk about, but a little bit of Bucs too. Maybe a shorter episode. We'll see. We always say it's going to be shorter, but you never know.
Yeah, I feel like right now we're in preseason Bucs football, and we've kind of gotten to the point where this Rays season right now is preseason for 2025. I think we're kind of in the same boat where we're looking for the positives while kind of ignoring the negatives because we don't know if this is a team that's, playing real baseball. The Bucs are definitely not playing real football. It's preseason. And the Rays, I mean, they have very slim chances, and I just don't know if they're playing for anything much, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like last week we kind of led you on. Feels like maybe there's a chance on this road trip. A lot of stuff would have to go right for him. But right after the first series, you kind of knew that was wraps. The second series, of course, fun, awesome win on Saturday. Probably one of the best games of the year. But we're looking at this game or this season kind of being wraps, unfortunately. I kind of can't wait till it's over. I had a bad taste in my mouth all season. Did not go the way I wanted it to. So, there's always next year. That's what they say, right?
Yeah, I
guess.
just
can't give up on them. I just can't. It feels like 2011.
Really?
I'm ready to be wrong, but there's just something about
That's
this
a bold
team.
take.
Something here.
I've crunched some numbers. It's doable, man. It's still doable. There's still a chance, but the Rays have got to play better, consistent baseball. But I guess the positive that I kind of have looked into these games is the Rays right now are playing really inconsistent baseball. There's some highs and there's some lows, but it's been like that all season. But the difference is right now, this is a very young and new core that, that is the Rays. I mean, you look at, new player Junior Caminero, new young player Christopher Morel, all these new pitchers that are getting back in the swing of things after injuries and young careers, and the Rays are playing the same way with their established core with Isaac Paredes, Randy Arozarena, Zach Eflin. So I feel like the level of play hasn't really changed, which should be positive going into next year, where the team should be much more experienced, much more stable with this new core of guys. I guess is a positive way to look at it. Mm-hmm. So, anything else on the broader Rays, gentlemen?
Randy Arozarena hitting 220 since he's been to the Mariners is pretty fun.
It might be worse than that. 220 seems high for him.
What did I say?
You mean you nailed it?
What did you say? I don't remember.
I said that there's no proof that there's no guarantee he's gonna go back to anything we've seen in the past. His numbers have gotten worse every year. I mean, it really didn't take me to tell you guys that. Mm-hmm. Really shouldn't have, but come on now. This is why you listen to the show. I'm always right.
I still miss him, though. But that's neither here nor there.
I don't. We're still bad.
I kind of forgot about him, to be honest. They put up his picture with the Mariners. Oh, yeah, he's pure Ray.
We're
still, just as bad, so it's it really doesn't even matter.
But that's my point is we're just as bad before the trade deadline. That should be really positive for this team because I feel like you look at these players, Junior's going to take a step forward next year. You have guys like Carson Williams and Chandler Simpson, highly rated prospects that are coming up next year at some point. Christopher Morel, I feel like, is going to take a step. We've already seen him swing the bat much better on this road trip. And, I mean, this is kind of playing the same level of baseball with this kind of blown-up team where you fully sold at the deadline. I don't know. I think it's positive for the 2025 Rays, who I am still high on.
Yeah, I mean, I still think so, too. I think they're going to be pretty good next year just because of their pitching staff. But, man, I mean, just because they're still bad doesn't make it any better to me.
They're still mid. They're not bad.
They're pretty bad.
They're mid. They're a 500 team, man. They will finish the season 81-81.
Do you guys want some very good news for the rest of your day?
Yes.
Isaac Paredes, since going to the Cubs, is hitting 146.
Yeah, I know Morel's around that too, but yeah, it's
just saying, don't let the door slam you on the way out.
I called that one. That's why you listen to the show. We're right a lot. We're right a lot. Will was right about Randy. I was right about Isak. I told you guys he was going to fall off very soon, and it happened.
And I think they're about equal in the home runs because Isak Paredes has 2 home runs and 9 RBIs since going to the Cubs.
Morel has, 3 now?
Morel has 3.
We win.
Yeah.
We won the trade,
We won the
guys.
trade,
We
guys.
won the trade.
And we have a guy in Durham, crafting his 100-mile-per-hour fastball and slider combination that we also got from that trade. So I do think we win that trade. Anyways, speaking of the trades, we had all these people we traded for playing in real-life baseball games on the West Coast. We mentioned this last week. The Rays went on a 10-game West Coast trip looking to have a magical trip that would get them back in the playoff fold. And it started off about as unmagical as you could get, as in the first game at the Oakland Athletics. The Rays got shut out, man. They did not scratch a run on the board, and the A's started early off pitcher Taj Bradley. He would give up a 2-run home run to J.J. Bleday in the first inning. But other than that, he was pretty good. 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, a quality start for Taj. But you can't win if you can't score. Is it Jack? I can't remember. Joe Boyle for the Oakland Athletics might be a name to watch. That dude had an electric fastball and a really good slider. Had some command issues, but of course he honed it in for the Rays game. That just seems like what everyone always does. But yeah, he pitched to Jim. The Oakland A's bullpen is pretty good, highlighted by Mason Miller. And they won this game, 3-0 shutout. And the Rays, this is looking like everything they did against the Diamondbacks was worth nothing. But they had a savior, and his name was Shane Baz, because on Tuesday night's game, Shane Baz was terrific. 7 2/3 innings pitched, a 3-hit shutout. And he needed every bit of that shutout because the Rays only mustered 1 run, and that was from Mr. Jose Ziri, a solo home run at the top of the 8th to give the Rays a 1-0 lead, and that would be your final score. Great pitching on both sides. Jose Ziri finally gets his big hit that we've been looking for. He owns the Oakland Athletics. The Rays get the second game. And in the third game, we had Ryan Pepio starting against Mitch Spence for the Oakland Athletics. And this one didn't start great for Ryan Pepio as he gave up another first-inning home run to J.J. Bleday. But after that, he honed it in. He went 6 innings pitched and only gave up 2 earned runs. And the Rays would get 2 runs back in the top of the 5th to make it 2-1. That second run Pepio did give up was in the bottom of the 6th to tie up the game 2-2. But as we got into the late innings, that man again saved us. Call him Batman. I call him Jose Siri. A 2-run home run to give the Rays a 4-2 lead, and they would win this one 4-2 with some good bullpen play to hold on to the lead. And they were looking to take 3 out of 4. This would be a really positive start to the road trip.
That's what got me believing.
I was feeling good after that last game, but the Rays are keeping people positive, as the Oakland Athletics would win this next one 3-1 as the Rays offense again went silent. And Jeffrey Springs had a pretty mediocre start, didn't have as good command, gave up 3 earned runs, only went 3 1/3 innings pitched. Bullpen was all right, but Rays offense was non-existent, and that was all it takes. They would get 1 run, they would lose 3-1, and split the series for their final ever appearance in the Oakland Collesium.
Yeah, good riddance to a terrible stadium. I don't know, like this really, it got me depressed, okay? It got me depressed. This series especially because I know you go, well, they're on the West Coast, huge plane trip, night games. You're playing at like 10 there, which in reality is like 1 a.m. here, so you're a little tired. And you go, well, Will, they came away with 2 wins, 2 out of 2, but still, you just played so bad, and you didn't have to. You didn't have to play bad, and you should have taken 3 out of 4. You should have swept this team because, quite frankly, I think the Rays are a better team than the Athletics. Maybe not by much, but I think they're a better team. So I was a little disappointed. I think you said savior earlier, and that was Shane Baz. I mean, I think clearly the savior of this team in this series was Jose Siri. A huge home run to win 1-0. And then the next day, another home run. He doesn't make those plays. I'm not sure if the Rays even win a game this series. So shout out to him. He's my Ray of the Week for his 2 huge performances in Oakland. Before that, too, he was like 0 for his last 21.
Yeah, he couldn't even make contact with a baseball before Oakland. He loves playing against the Athletics. I mean, you look back to May, hey Siri, it's not your night, a crazy catch. This dude just wakes up on the right side of the bed when it's time to play Oakland.
Yeah, I mean, he probably saw that video too, like fired him up.
Dude, they need to play that video for him before every game. I'd love to see him play like this. Jose Siri is a big key for us, and he's not been going, and the Rays subsequently have not been going recently. Joel, any initial thoughts on the Oakland series?
The scheduling of this West Coast trip did not do us any favors. To not have an off day going into the series with the Athletics is just cruelty. Bitter, bitter cruelty.
I can agree with that. No off day. They definitely came out flat. That first game, it sucks. That was a really flat game. You just sweep one of the best teams in baseball, one of the hottest teams in baseball, and you're looking to, keep that momentum, and it was halted almost immediately, and you shut out. Just no offense.
That's the reason they lost that Monday game. Like they were half asleep.
Come on,
a little.
They just got off the plane.
These are baseball players.
They were just got off the plane.
I will.
Baseball.
They probably flew the day before.
I will offer you this, Joel. The Rays hit less than 150. I think you could fact check this. I mean, I don't have the full stat. I saw it on Bally. They hit less than 150 batting average against the Oakland Athletics this season. The A's pitching just had our number. And the Rays did get shut out. Joel and I were there in Tropicana Field at home against the same Oakland Athletics team. Remember, they almost no-hit us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't fully – I do think it's brutal scheduling. No off day is kind of crazy, but I can't fully give the Rays that pass.
Can't give them that excuse.
I'm just giving it for the game. For that game, I think if we had an off day on that Monday and it was Tuesday, maybe we could sneak out a little win here.
Yeah, and I mean,
and going into the Seattle series, I'll just give that we still don't have an off day. So if we do bad there, I'd throw him a bone. We're
going from LA to Seattle. That's not the same type of plane ride.
I mean, this is a long trip for no off days.
This is Major League Baseball. You gotta be able to play with no off days sometimes. Across country, I can get that pass, but not from LA to Seattle. I mean, that's like probably a 2-hour flight.
My boys are tired.
Did Wade Boggs fly from Philly to LA, drinking 40 beers and hit a home run the next day?
Probably.
They were built different back in the day.
That was a different era,
Yeah,
maybe.
it was a different era.
But hey, come on now. If he could do it.
If he could do it, you can. Drink more beer, Rays. I don't know if I could say that on the show. I don't condone it unless you're drinking responsibly and you are above 21. Okay, but Rays offense, it looked pretty drunk in this series as the Rays had 41 strikeouts in 4 games against the Oakland Athletics. Just bad. That's more than 10 strikeouts a game for my math people out there. Just really bad, offenses, approaches. And, I mean, these young starting pitchers for Oakland, they had some good stuff. They had been on good runs. I mean, a lot of them had been, 5 out of their last 6 starts, or 4 out of the last 5 is, 5 innings, 1 earned run, 6 innings, 1 earned run, stuff like that. Pretty good starts from these young Oakland pitchers. But you just can't allow a pitching staff to shut you down this easy. And I would almost, beg to differ with Will. I kind of felt grateful that the Rays got two out of 4. I just think that the Rays offense, 6 runs in 4 games for the Rays offense. It's kind of a miracle you win 2 out of these 4 games.
Yeah, but I'm saying more of they played down to their competition. I feel like the Rays, they had a good hot team come in over the weekend at home. They sweep them. Then they play a not so good team on the road, and they look sloppy.
And then you even go to the next series where they're playing one of the best teams in baseball on the road, and
you could have come away with more than 1 win there.
And they played better in that series than they did.
Yeah, they just played down to their competition. That's more of what I mean.
That is,
you should take 3 out of 4 from them. Yeah, I think batting though it was terrible, and especially just extra base hits, not getting guys in. I look back to the first game too, and outside of 3 innings, they had a guy on base. They had 6 out of the 9 innings in that game. They had somebody on base. Could not get one of them in. Could not get one. It's unacceptable. And again, against who? What's his name?
Joe Boyle.
Joe Blow. Nobody's ever heard of him.
Joe Schmo.
Yeah.
Another big reason why this Rays offense didn't do much in Oakland is Brandon Lau didn't have a single hit in 4 games. Bald Brandon did not come through. He was at 499 career hits going into the Oakland series, and he didn't get his 500th until he went to LA. So I think he might have been, stressing about that a little bit. But they also pitched Brandon Lau really good. Change up all the time, and that's the pitch he struggles against. But that was, not having your best offensive player really hurt in Oakland.
My fantasy team was very aware of that statistic.
That's brutal, man.
I think he went like -11 on the week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You might be the only guy who has a raise on there.
I needed a second baseman, and he was toasty there for a minute.
Brandon Lau's like the only offensive raised player you can have. Pitchers you can have.
Yeah, for the most part. They're just not big fantasy guys. Like, Littell's been solid all year, but, he could still go, 6 scoreless and get you,
12.
9.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
Oh, great.
They like to let up a lot of base runners.
Pitch the contact.
Yeah, that's the Rays thing. And also, speaking of pitching, that was a positive of the series. I think we have gone too long without talking about Shane Baz once again because, my goodness, on Tuesday, I'll say the line again, 7 2/3 innings pitched. That's not a typo coming from my mouth. That is how long Kevin Cash let a pitcher go in 2024. 7 2/3. He almost got through 8. Just spectacular stuff. 0 earned runs with a 1-0 lead. It was tied for most of the game. He is pitching stressful innings, and he delivered for almost the whole game. 0 earned runs, 3 hits allowed, 3 walks allowed, only 4 strikeouts. This guy was pitching the contact, getting weak contact all night long, got a couple double plays to erase any base runner or trouble he had, and he was just spectacular. And you go back to Shane Baz's last start before that, and he's had 2 back-to-back 7-inning outings. So, Shane Baz looks to have hit his stride coming back from injury.
I'm mad at him, though. Because he was supposed to pitch Sunday, man.
Yeah.
He had the flu. Come on, where's your Michael Jordan moment? Need a little bit more mental toughness.
That was like the finals, wasn't it? Not the Sunday day in game in LA, bro.
Come on, you're playing the Dodgers.
Post-COVID, they might not let you do that kind of stuff either. They're like, oh, you're sniffling? Yeah, you're not playing today.
That's a good point, too. Honestly, his replacement was great. We'll talk about LA in a second, but Shane Baz was terrific. Another really good outing from Ryan Pepio, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, only 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. You look back to his first outing against Arizona, he gave up 0 earned runs over 5 2/3, goes 6 again. Looks great, man. Just hasn't missed a beat. I do think he has he has to be slinging webs when we're not seeing him, just from that spider bite. But in all seriousness, Ryan Pepio has been fantastic his last 2 starts. He went into when he got hurt hot, so loving what I'm seeing from him.
Yeah, he's obviously amazing, and I'm still so excited to see what he can do. I thought he pitched solid again, and I just hope it's consistent, man. I hope it's consistent because both 2 starts and coming back have been money. I really want to see him go against the Dodgers.
That would have been cool. We saw his trade partner go kind of crazy against the Dodgers.
Yeah, we did. But I think to bring up your point about the spider powers, doesn't Peter Parker say to Iron Man, where he's like, he can't do stuff like compete in athletics because it wouldn't be morally right. Maybe he has to hone down his powers just a little bit because it's not fair to the other players.
That's definitely something Dash says in The Incredibles. He's like,
I think Dash says it too.
Yeah, he's like, I'll only beat him by a little bit.
Slow down, But see, he still won though. And because
remember, Dash is a rascal, man.
He blew past everybody, and they're like, slow down. And he had to wait till.
Yeah, Dash wasn't the one making it fun. It was his parents telling him not to. Dash, you need to learn something about sportsmanship, kid. All right.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. But yeah, those really good starts. I would like to see maybe all 3 of our young, talented starting pitchers, aka Pepio, Baz, and Bradley, all pitch good at once. It seems like one of them's always on a on a cold streak.
Did Bradley fall off, man?
No,
question.
We'll get into LA. Bradley in LA got the most unlucky start I've ever seen in my life. It was the wrong team to get unlucky against. AKA the defense was trash. But I would like to give me a week where Baz, Bradley, and Pepio all pitch 5 innings, 2 earned runs or less. I would salivate. I would drool for that, man. I would love that.
Both Baz and Pepio kept their strikeouts pretty low, and that's part of the reason why they're able to go deep. So I do like that. I love a good contact pitcher. So if we can get a bunch of a rotation full of contact guys, we won't even need a bullpen.
Yeah, you got strikeout pitchers that can pitch to contact. That's what makes a good young pitcher. And I'm ecstatic for this pitching staff next year. It's going to be fantastic.
Springs kind of didn't do so good.
But he's still coming off TJ, man.
He's still coming
Tommy
off
John.
it, yeah. But it was his lowest amount of innings pitched since his first game back.
He also might be a trop merchant.
Maybe.
He pitches way better at home.
It was just kind of like, cause it was like, I get excited for the game, hoping we take 3 out of 4. And then it was like right off the rip, you just knew he didn't have the same kind of stuff.
You can tell with him, like even the way he's throwing the ball, like just in general, I could tell from like what you said from the get, it was going to be a rough start because he just wasn't locating. It comes down to command for him. He doesn't have overpowering stuff, so he has to be able to hit the corners and command all of his pitches, and he just didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I will note, Oakland had a pretty good record in August coming up to the Rays series. They were playing pretty good baseball. I think they were 7-3 in their last 10 before the Rays series. So they were playing good baseball. If this was the middle of the season and the Rays had a better record, you would live with this split on the road. But in the Rays' current situation, you can't really give games away against teams that are less than 500, and that's what they did against Oakland, especially not getting 3 out of 4. That 3 out of 4 would have changed the whole complexion of this road trip.
Mm-hmm.
And as we move, where LA is down from Oakland, it has to be Southern California.
Yep.
We're moving down on this road trip unless we have any more A's notes, boys.
I'll take a 90-second soapbox, but Oakland has rebuilt their team just in time for them to move to Sacramento, and this was just a sad series, like our final goodbyes, reminiscing over our time in Oakland. And you heard it in the announcers' voices, and like that one guy gave his story about how he used to go to the Oakland Stadium and there was like a Denny's across the street and stuff. Like I just hate it when teams move, and like this one hurts a lot. Like because I mean we're brothers and sisters. Like we're the East Coast Oakland A's, so seeing their goodbye right now is a little bit heartbreaking. Like I can't lie. Like I'm pretty devastated by this one.
Yeah,
by them moving.
Yeah,
I'm pretty devastated too because I mean
Billy Bean passing away.
Yeah.
Like it's
a tough year.
It's a
for
hard
them.
time for my inner Oakland Athletics fandom to be alive right now.
And the worst part about it for me is I could totally see the Rays in that situation. I think a couple things went their way, and they're not in that situation at least yet. But I mean, I could totally see, just the pain and the Rays being taken away from us, going to Montreal for half the season or going to Nashville. And I could just put myself in the Oakland fans' shoes. I get they didn't show up. I get that their attendance wasn't great. But also, they have a terrible owner. They have an owner who did not do anything for that fan base. And Oakland has history. Oakland has a rich history. They were talking about on the broadcast, Oakland has had 60,000 plus people go to a baseball game in their history. I mean, they have a rich history, great players, and I mean, what John Fisher did to Oakland is something that I unfortunately could see Stu Sternberg doing to the Rays, and I pity them, and I hope that Oakland fans, I don't know, man, figure it out and become Giants fans. Go to the functional organization in that area.
There's a new team starting play next year in Oakland. It's like something like a little league kind of thing, not a little minor league thing. And I think they're going to show up. Like I think next year we're going to be like seeing headlines where it's like little Oakland baseball team got like 60,000 people to come to their game.
Ooh, I don't know about 60. Are they playing in the Collesium?
Yeah, they're playing in the Collesium. I was trying to find their name.
They'll get 12 maybe.
No, seriously, like Oakland had their
12 workers.
I've been following this whole Oakland Athletics move thing all year. Like I found a YouTube guy who's really passionate about them, and he works kind of in the Oakland market. And their new team is called, I won't be able to find it, but like Oakland put on their own fan fest this year, just Oakland fans, and they did it. They did a good job.
I did see that. They had like I think it was like 20,000 people showed up to like because the A's didn't actually do a fan fest this year. That's how dysfunctional they were.
They're called the Oakland Ballers, and it's the Bees, so they're going to be called the Oakland Bees. Like keep your eye out, keep your ears out for that. Like we could be seeing some headlines.
That's a fun story.
Yeah, the Oakland Bees.
That St. Pete Stadium doesn't sound so bad, huh?
Yeah, that's true.
I'll take it.
Doesn't sound so
Yeah.
bad.
I'll take it.
Amen. Amen. So the Rays continue their West Coast trip in Los Angeles to face off against the Dodgers in LA for the first time since 2019. The Dodgers, star-studded, filled with a bunch of players, and we got to know some of those stars real quickly. As in the first game, our new rising star set the tone as Junior Cabellero would hit his first home run of 2024, put the Rays up 1-0 in the first inning. And then another young star, hopefully, Christopher Morel would hit a 2-run home run to put the Rays up 3-0 in the third inning. But a guy that us Rays fans know way too well, a guy that gives us 2021 flashbacks, Kike Hernandez hit a game-tying 3-run home run off Tyler Alexander in the bottom of the fifth. And that scored hold all the way to the bottom of the ninth, where the Rays, with 2 outs and bases loaded, decided to pitch Colin Poche against Shohei Ohtani. And I think you guys could predict what happened next. Shohei Ohtani would hit a go-ahead grand slam and walk off the Rays on Friday night in just miserable fashion. But we're back in another game. This is young Rays. We can wipe our memories quickly as the Rays would get it started early. Clayton Kershaw was on the mound for the Dodgers, and the Rays got 4 runs off him in the first inning, highlighted by Johnny DeLuca hitting a 2 RBI single off his favorite pitcher growing up and his old teammate. 4-0 Rays, but the Dodgers would storm back. They would get 3 in the top of the fourth. The Rays would get 1 back to make it 5-3. But then in the bottom of the fifth, the Dodgers would get 3 more to make it 6-5, highlighted by another Shohei Ohtani home run, 6-5 Dodgers, then 7-5 Dodgers. But in the top of the eighth, the Rays, they tried to come back. They got another run, but some bad base running ran them out of the inning. It's 7-6 Dodgers heading into the ninth. But in the ninth inning, we had a moment. The rising star, Junior Cabellero, off who's pitching, man? Who was pitching? It was Evan Phillips. Evan Phillips gave a solo home run, game-tying shot to Junior Cabellero, just electrifying the Rays' head to extras. And then in extras, Jose Caballero would hit a 2-run bomb to give the Rays a 9-7 lead, and that lead would hold by some good bullpen pitching. 9-8, the Rays win. Looking for a series win on Sunday. And like Will mentioned, this was supposed to be Shane Baz's start, but he got the flu. So Jacob Lopez was emergency pulled up from Durham. He's been doing a lot of stuff well in Durham, and we got to see it in the bigs as he would go 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 walks, only 1 earned run against a potent Dodgers lineup. But the Rays offense did not come to play. Gavin Stone would pitch a really, really good game. And it would be 1-1 heading into the bottom of the eighth. And Kevin Cash, making another just genius bullpen move, decided to put in Richard Lovelady in versus the top of the Dodgers order in the bottom of the eighth. And again, that went how you could have predicted it. Mookie Betts would hit a 2-run home run to put the Dodgers up 3-1. The Rays would get a couple base runners, but it would be to no avail. The Dodgers would win this one 3-1 and win the series.
Yeah, tough games, and like we said earlier, this team plays up to the competition. They had plenty of chances to win on Friday. They find a way to win on Saturday, even though they almost blew it. A couple times that game, they almost blew it, but neither here nor there. They escape with a win, and then Sunday, just classic Rays. Yeah, I don't know. Where do you want to begin?
Kevin Cash, I hate you. That's where I want to begin. This could have been a Rays sweep of the Dodgers, if you really look at this, because what are we doing? You had great pitching from unsung heroes. Tyler Alexander gave you solid innings. Edwin Nucida, Manny Rodriguez, great pitching all the way around. Jacob Lopez gave you 5 innings of 1-run ball, straight up from Durham. This guy hasn't pitched in the big leagues since May. He's never started a game full out. And you go in with the top of the order and you put in Richard Lovelady? Are you kidding me? Like, what? I don't understand.
Well, who was available?
Everyone was available. Uceda was available. There was literally Kevin Kelly was available. I don't care. Don't put in Richard Lovelady.
It felt like a Little League home run. Like when Mookie Betts hit that, it was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I didn't think it was going out either. The Dodger Stadium is short, but I mean, what did we think was going to happen? I mean, is Richard Lovelady versus Mookie Betts.
This guy's on the team. He should be able to strike people out and get out.
He shouldn't be on the team.
If he's on the major league
I
roster,
want Biggie
he should
back.
get out.
I want
We can't
Biggie
blame
back.
Cash for that. We do this every
can.
time. Just because somebody blows it, if they're on the major league roster,
Okay.
Why do we have guys that we shouldn't even put in the game?
Well, I'm not saying they shouldn't put him in the game. They put him in the game versus Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman. What are we doing? Highest
Shohei
leverage
was hitting
reliever.
off of everybody.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he
Tyler
was.
Alexander had that man looking silly in the first game.
Okay, 1 inning.
2. And all Shohei did his damage off Taj Bradley in this final game or his final inning, and Poche. But there's no, and Mookie Betts was the one that did. Shohei got hit by a pitch. But seriously, Richard Lovelady in that situation is just dumb. Colin Poche in that situation is just dumb. Put in your best reliever and hope Shohei. I don't care about right left. Put in your best reliever. Colin Poche is not the man for that situation. Bases loaded. And 2 outs.
He hit Ohtani, right? That was how he got on.
Lovelady hit, yeah.
Yeah, so that right there, it was
That
like,
hurt,
oh, crap.
yeah.
It was like, oh, crap.
Yeah, he
This
hit him
is
with 2
bad.
strikes.
Yeah.
That was just. I'm sorry. We should have gotten one more game in the series. Cash fumbled. I know. I understand.
We didn't have any offense either, so I don't know how we could have gotten the win.
Hey,
there.
you know what? If it was 1-1, some magic.
And we get walked off by Shohei in the 10th.
No, hey, we won the only game that went to extra innings. We're extra innings kings this year. I'm just saying. Objectively, maybe we wouldn't have won those games. I think we could have gotten one of them. Those moves were dumb. I mean, just dumb moves. And I get they're on the roster. I get your point. But, I mean, we can use them in better situations. Let's use our best pitchers. I didn't see Kevin Kelly out there maybe once the whole entire weekend. Let him pitch, man. Kevin Kelly's been dynamite. Edwin Ucita pitched on Friday. He didn't pitch the rest of the weekend. Let him pitch, man. He's been dynamite. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Colby, you're forgetting something. We're in a simulation, and Kevin Cash is a part of it. And he knew that if the Rays won this game, they wouldn't be 65-65 and 31-31 on the road. So
That means they have a 500 record at home, too.
It had to happen. The simulation had to correct itself.
That's harder to do than winning.
It had to correct itself.
This is the most 500 team of all time. I think they've been 500,
impressive.
exactly
And
500, like 30 times this year.
It's impressive.
I think it's since the All-Star break or even further. Since the All-Star break, they have the best team ERA in baseball and the worst OPS
Awesome.
in baseball.
Love the Rays. Love the Rays. But I will say there are some positives, even if the Rays didn't win this series. At this point, like we said, we're trying to, if the Rays aren't going to make a run, we're at least going to try to take the positives from the series or season and take those players and bring them into 2025 where we're hoping to have a better start and just a better overall team success. And one of those positives, probably the biggest one, is Junior Cabellero. This guy has been fantastic, especially in this Dodgers series, but in the last 10 games for sure. He had 2 home runs in the Dodgers series, like we mentioned, and in his last 10 games, he has a .333 batting average and a .956 OPS. And that's, I mean, he's only played, I think, 13 games total. I mean, this guy, didn't take him long to get used to big league pitching.
Well, yeah, it didn't take him long to be the best at everything.
Yeah.
Since he came up this year, he's first in WAR, first in home runs, first in walk percentage, on base percentage, slugging, barrel percentage, max exit velocity, hard hitting. First on all those since he came up with the Rays. Pretty quick. It only took him, like he said, 13 games?
Yeah.
13 games to be first, to lead the team and everything. Not saying the whole season, but as far as since the Rays have played, since he's come up, that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, his defense is looking good, too. Like, can't complain
defense.
at all.
And I'm just so excited to see a Rays prospect come up and like produce immediately. I mean, it's just been so many failed experiments and prospects this year. You know, young players getting in huge slumps, and just to see Junior come up, be the number 2 overall prospect in baseball, and deliver even in a short sample size it's so encouraging for me. Like it almost puts my faith back in the Rays.
I just thought about something. I think I'm going to look this up. I don't think I'll be able to find it, but I wonder if Junior Cabellero will be rookie eligible in 2025.
He is. It's
Okay,
part of the reason why I think they kept him they kept him down so long.
All right,
I think
that's good.
my understanding is the Rays can actually get compensation picks based off of maybe if he gets like accolades next year as a rookie as opposed to not being a rookie. There was something to why they kept him so late.
All right, so everybody essentially
Making
wins.
money moves, man.
Yeah,
Smart.
making money moves to save money, not to
Hey,
make money
if he
or
wins,
get it.
If he wins Rookie of the Year, like I ain't complaining. I love that's one of my favorite rewards in sports.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, like we
That's
got
a good
Evan
one.
Longoria, Jeremy Hellickson.
Randy.
I think Matt Moore won it. Randy won it.
Randy did win it.
We got a lot
The
of. Let's get
problem-
another one.
I think Wander used all his rookie eligibility on the year Randy won it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did.
He
Because
did.
I think there was like first and third on that.
Yeah. I will say I'm going to bring back the term St. Pete Pups because I was really excited to see some of these young players. Christopher Morel, as you look at last
He's
week,
considered a pup.
I think he's a St.
Yeah.
Pete Pup. He's young,
Yeah.
man. He's a young player. 364 on base percentage last week with an 864 OPS. Got the home run in LA. Was on a huge home run drought. Drove in some runners. Liked what I was seeing from him. If he could just get to hitting some fastballs more often, he's going to be a really good player. And I do think the Rays will, help him. Maybe get a new hitting coach next year and help him even more. And then also you look at Johnny DeLuca, man. He gets 2 RBIs off Clayton Kershaw, the team that traded him, the team he rooted for growing up, and he hits a big home run in Sunday's game to tie the game back up. Johnny DeLuca, his numbers still aren't fantastic. He had such a cold June and July, but I mean, this guy's taking really good at bats. He's making good contact. He's striking out a lot less. So I'm really excited to see Johnny DeLuca. He's never going to be, your 25 home run, 90 RBI guy. He's just not that type of hitter, but he plays great defense. Mm-hmm. And if he can cut down his strikeouts and get on base, he's going to be a really valuable player to this Rays roster.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say the Rays are doing it right. Let him struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Let him figure it out. I know it's frustrating now, but I mean, he could be those guys. He could be a dog, could be a star. Just got to let him keep working through it. And I love that. I absolutely love getting back at your old team. So good for him. That made my heart warm on a very cold weekend.
Foreshadowing. I will say Taj Bradley, we mentioned this earlier, but Saturday, 6-inning pitch, 5 earned runs against a really good lineup. Gives up 2 home runs to Teoscar Hernandez and Shohei Ohtani. But I will say, Rays, first inning he gives up runs. It's a leadoff catcher's interference on 2 strikes against, I think it was Shohei Ohtani. So that's an error. That was an unearned run. Then you look at, there's a play later on that inning where there's a pop fly and a runner advancing to third, and Dylan Carlson hoses him, and Junior Caminero doesn't get the tag on, and the runner pops off the base, but Junior does not keep his tag on. A young rookie mistake, and that runner ends up scoring later on in the inning. And then you follow up the next inning after the Rays add a run to make it 5-3, and the leadoff man pops the ball up, and it drops. I mean, a ball that has no business dropping, a simple routine pop-up, and the Rays are not able to make it happen. So I will give Taj Bradley a little bit of relief from what the numbers looked like. I just think he got really unlucky. The defense failed him. And I would say overall, his 2 starts this week, I was more encouraged than I was discouraged by his starts.
I think he fell off, man.
Just wait for his next start. We'll see what happens.
I think he fell off.
Wait, what if he's the Brandon Lau of pitchers?
That seems like what it is a little bit. It's all about location of those non-fastball pitches. I will say he has an over 8 ERA in August, but he did have like a 0-something ERA in July.
Yeah, but
it's
I want to see consistency.
He's still so young, but he consistency
we're giving
is
him
his
ace
enemy.
Talk, goat talk.
Yeah,
and
the ace talk might have gotten.
I don't know. He fell off, man.
I will say though. He could be your 5th starter next year, and you wouldn't really be concerned about it. So he's gonna have a lot less pressure on him next year with McClanahan and Boz continuing to grow, and Springs having a full
Young. So he's winning the Cy Young next year.
Pepio too. So I'm not on
Tyler Alexander.
Maybe in the bullpen, baby, or maybe he takes Taj Bradley's spot. I'm not.
Imagine that comeback. They make a movie out of that.
I am not on the Taj Bradley fall-off train, personally.
I'm getting scared. I'm getting scared for sure.
I just can't let it happen. We need Taj Bradley to be good.
Yeah, and I was excited. He still has gross stuff. I am still on and in on Taj Bradley. Just a little bit better command. That's it.
Should trade him to the Pirates.
And by the time Pepio or someone has a couple bad starts, Taj Bradley will be back to playing good because we can have all three of them pitching good at once. Only 2 out of 3.
To clean up a note, Matt Moore did not win the Rookie of the Year in 2012, but Will Myers won it in 2013. I was like, I know there was one in that era. I couldn't remember who won it.
The Rays kind of own Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, because from 2008 to 2013, we won 3.
Because they've never had an MVP, right?
No. We've had a Cy Young.
But not
James
an MVP.
Shields won Cy Young.
Yeah, and Blake Snell.
Oh, yeah, Blake Snell got it, too.
Did Price win?
I think Price won.
Yeah,
one,
he
too.
won. He won in 2014.
Yeah, wasn't it with us?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was with us. I remember because one of those all-star drafts we were doing.
He won it in 2012.
Yeah. So, yeah. Cy Young, Rookie of the Year. That's
In
the Rays
same
award.
year, man? 2012?
Oh, yeah. That's Will Myers and...
No, Will Myers was 2013. So we had a Rookie of the Year Cy Young sandwich.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we can talk about these next games going on. The Rays still have 3 more West Coast trip games. I guess no, we don't have anything else, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, we'll get it at the end.
Okay.
I got something I want to ask you guys about.
The Rays have 6 games this week, 3 more on the West Coast, and all of them are against West Coast teams. Very odd. You guys noticed that about scheduling? I don't know if we talked about this, but the Rays play the Diamondbacks, who are a West Coast team, at home right before they go on a West Coast trip, play 3 West Coast teams, and they come back home to Tropicana Field to play the Padres, who are a West Coast team. Just felt like that's really odd scheduling. If you ask me.
There must be something set up in the Padres, in the Diamondbacks as well, to where it's like it matches on their side too.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know everyone plays everyone, but yeah, I don't know. It's odd to me. But yeah, the Rays have 3 games in Seattle against their old friend Randy Arozarena. First game is at 9:40. We're recording. It's tonight. Ryan Pepio will face off against Bryce Miller. Good young pitching matchup. A couple of these games might be 1-0 every single time. These are some bad offenses in the series. On Tuesday night at 9:40, we have Jeffrey Springs looking for a bounce back start against Logan Gilbert, who has been really good this year. And then on Thursday, we have an afternoon game, 4:10. And the Rays will have undecided. Maybe Shane Baz comes back to pitch from the flu in that game. And Luis Castillo will be pitching for the Mariners. So some good pitching, some not as good offense in that series. And the Rays head back to Tropicana Field with...
Sorry, just to break some news.
Wow.
Breaking news right now. I mean, you'll probably know about this. Rays Kevin Cash has just told reporters that Baz flew back to Tampa from L.A., was feeling a bit better from flu-like symptoms, forced him to skip Sunday start, but wouldn't be ready to pitch in Seattle. No. Cash says they're hoping he can pitch Friday or Saturday versus the Padres. This is per Mark Topkin of Tampa Bay Times.
So I guess that might be another Lopez start, or...
Didn't they send him down? Well,
yeah, but they can pull him back up. Yeah.
Oof, a lot of travel for that.
Well, they probably won't. They probably if they know this, they probably didn't send him to Durham yet because he's not going to have his start in Durham. Yeah, we'll see because who's before Baz? I wonder if they could. They probably can't move Taj Bradley up because no off day. So I bet that'll be a Jacob Lopez, or I did see Erasmo is back on the roster. So
let's go.
So maybe that's Erasmo Ramirez start in a full bullpen day.
We get Erasmo.
You just got Erasmo. Dude, I gotta bring back that picture of him looking at the home run he gave up. Dude, I love that picture.
I love it too, but I just hate that.
It's really funny. I did see that. I'm glad. I'm glad we mentioned that.
It's like in Star Wars where there's like somehow Palpatine returned.
Somehow
Erasmo has weaseled his way.
Somehow Erasmo is
Chancellor Palpatine of our team.
Somehow Erasmo, he kind of looks like Palpatine.
I love him so much.
He pitched kind of good this year. I'll say it.
He did it.
Yes, he did.
Like, it's been like the best 7-year saga of like Rays baseball.
It is really funny. It's really funny. But yeah, on Friday, back in the Trop, 650 game. What the?
Isn't it always
Oh wait, it
650
is always
these
650.
days? I'm used
I
to
was in-
710s
Well,
last
I
year.
was 640 was last year too.
And 640.
Yeah.
It was like 640, and then the clock turned
Man.
August, and it was like 710 the rest of the year.
Yeah, dude, I'm saying, dude, 1 week off and I forget that the Rays do 650 games at Tropicana Field. That's embarrassing. The Rays have Padres hosting the Padres. Taj Bradley, Martin Perez on Friday, and then 4:10 on Saturday. We will have. I think we'll be watching a lot of football on Saturday, but I can get the Rays on a second TV. Shane Baz versus Undecided for the Padres, and then. Why you do that to me, ESPN? On Sunday, 1:40. No NFL football, so you still should be focused on Rays. Dylan Cease versus Ryan Pepio, an ace versus a future ace. 6 games, boys. What are we thinking?
I
4-2.
Joel is dialed in. He's
This
positive.
is 2011.
Let's go.
The Jeremy Hellickson of 2011 is Shane Boss.
That's crazy.
I don't know. You look back at the last series against the Mariners, Rays did fairly well. Again, it was one of those where they should have swept, but they didn't. Now it's in Seattle. Emotions are going to be running high. My fantasy team is on the line because I have like the entire Seattle starting rotation.
So you're going to be in a good spot. He's going to be
Let's
stacking
hope
up
not.
points.
I got rid of George Kirby. That was a final straw. I think that was Saturday, and I was like, I need some points. Colby's coming back on me. I need some points, and George Kirby got me -1. So I was like, that's it. You're gone, buddy. I think the Rays could actually take 2 of 3 again. I hope they do. I hope they boost my spirits. They play in a couple minutes here.
You got
Playing about an hour.
About an hour.
About an hour. So yeah, there's that. I think they take 2 out of 3. Yeah, you know what? I feel positive again. Padres coming in, they're a good team. They're battling the Dodgers. You know, they're trying to get it, stay alive. But I think the Rays take 2 to 3. So you know what? I agree with you, Joel. I think the Rays go 4-2. If they win any series, it will be the Padres, and you can book that.
Really?
If
Okay.
they were to lose one, it will not be the Padres. They will win 2 out of 3. Book it right now. I'm almost 2 for 2. I'm almost 2 for 2 on the Rays in our new prediction post on TB3 Instagram. If you have taken a look on that, I am literally 1 game off out of 6.
Really?
I said they'd win 2 out of 3 against Arizona, and I had the first 2 right. But I just thought the Rays don't sweep anybody. You know, it doesn't take a genius to not give them that extra win.
Flappy, he ran the board this week. He got every single pick right, except he picked his lock was Ben Rortfred to hit a home run, and he has not done so yet. But if Ben Rortfred hits a home run in Seattle, I'll give it to Flappy. Perfect board.
Well, did he get all the Rays games right? Because
Yes, he got
I
the
did
specific
too.
man. Good for you. I did not. Did not do it. He also picked up. Never mind. Redacted.
That's just because he's a hater.
Redacted.
Flappy, if you're
Redacted.
listening, well, I only know you got it right because you're a hater.
Hey.
Anyways, we'll get to that on Thursday. But
I will say, I'm saying the Rays are going 3-3. I'm all about the fact that the Rays are going to be 500 for the rest of their lives.
very standard.
Yeah, 3-3, and I'll send it back your guys' way. I'm going to say, what am I thinking? Let's say Christopher Morel hits a home run.
All right. Well, there's 0 points there. Man. Luke Rayleigh.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, can I change my pick?
Go ahead.
I'm taking Caballero hitting a home run in Seattle.
I was thinking about picking him, but I don't know.
He's hitting a home run in Seattle. I mean,
That
that's
could
obvious.
happen. I liked. No, he's bad now. He'll be bad again. Give me Yandy Diaz. Where's he been, man? That's what I want to ask you guys at the end. But hold on, Joel.
I mean, is it fair to go Junior, or is that just like too obvious at this point?
I think
You
go
can
with
pick
him.
him, man.
Go with
Pick
him.
him.
I'm picking Junior. He's staying hot.
I love it.
But what? Okay, so let's get to that. Those are our picks, guys, and we post picks on TB3, the Instagram as well. You can see our individual picks and stuff like that,
And our home run picks.
and our home run picks. Or money on that. of
Follow us
course.
on Instagram.
Look, guys. I mean, we're money on just about everything on this show. We're better than all the other medias combined.
And we're putting everything we're money about, and maybe not money about, but we're putting it out there, and usually we're money on Instagram because we want you guys to know how good we're batting on the show. I mean, come on.
We got good takes here, guys.
We got good takes.
So
we're going to show you our good takes one way or the other.
But yeah, I wanted to ask you guys now, we're wrapping up on the Rays, what was going on in Oakland?
Oh, yes.
Some heated moments between Mr. Diaz, Mr. Caballero. Kevin Cash was pretty fired up. What was going on? What do you think it is? They're saying we're competitors, we should be in a playoff spot, la-di-da, but come on, what's going on, guys?
I think it's just a team that's done. They're just like, can we just go home? Like, it's time to play some golf. I hate this guy.
But then you think they wouldn't be fighting.
I almost disagree because this team has felt like they have a lot of life recently just in the dugout. I mean, they have that little circle where it's Caballero, Siri, Jr., and Morel, and they've been doing a lot of stuff. You know, when Jose Siri was hitting the home runs, and then when Jr. was hitting the home runs, they're supporting each other, and it seemed like a really electric dugout. So I know right before that, I think Yandy didn't pick a throw that Cabby had, and I do think those are highly competitive guys. And Yandy Diaz, he's definitely. I don't want to go at him, but I feel like I look at him as a very big leader on this team, and I just don't know if he's that right now or ever has been. I think there's always been a couple.
Are we questioning his leadership?
I think we have
he's
to.
He's a bad apple out there for sure.
You think? Whoa.
I don't know about a bad apple, but
I mean, like, you trade Randy and you keep Diaz. The fighter's still on the team, so
yeah.
I'm just saying.
They did have some spats.
They did,
but didn't Randy have spats with Wander?
The spatter's
Maybe Randy
still there.
was the problem.
I mean, all these guys have egos.
I mean, I think in the situation, if it's Randy and Wander, I think Wander's probably the problem, knowing knowing the outcome.
We're sorry, Randy. Please forgive us.
I mean, you might have different problems. He might not be the problem in everything. Maybe just who he has feelings for.
All right. Anyways,
he might not be a troublemaker. Like
maybe I would bet he's a little bit of a troublemaker just based off who he has feelings for, if you ask me. But anyways, I think Yandy Diaz has been one of the biggest veterans on the team the last couple of years. I mean, last year, a lot of young guys. Yandy Diaz was really one of the only experienced guys. He's been around for a long time. He's been a race since 2019, and ever since we lost guys like Zunino, Kiermaier, even Willie Adames, I do think the lack of team leadership has been noticeable, and I do think that Yandy Diaz really has never stepped up to be that leader. So I don't know if I would call him a bad apple, but I wouldn't call him a good leader of the team, and I do think that's something that the Rays need to kind of look for. And I think Jose Caballero honestly could be that guy. I really do like the vibes and the energy that Jose Caballero plays with. And I do think if he sticks around and maybe he's a super utility player, or maybe he's still playing shortstop before Carson Williams comes up next year, he could be one of those those leaders of this Rays team. Because honestly, Jose Caballero, I almost side with him in this situation, because Jose Caballero has been one of the best parts about this dull Rays season. He's been exciting to watch. He's overachieved in my book, played great defense, had some big hits, steals a lot of bases. So I think I'm going to side with Jose Caballero in this situation.
I don't know. I'm sick of his Busch Gardens walk-up song, and sometimes it's like he can't buy a hit. I know he's been exciting, but I mean, I don't know if he's a bright spot in my opinion.
I would call him a bright spot. He's been swinging the bat well, but
recently, but a whole season, I don't know.
Just saying. But yeah, I mean that's it. We got some Bucs football real quick.
Yeah, we got some Tampa Bay Buccaneers football. Fire the cannons, get them going. Last preseason game of this 2024 campaign. Now they are finally ready to go for the regular season. And we saw some familiar faces last Friday night outside of Mike Evans and Levante David, the two unks on the team. So some people might call it the two unks, the OGs. They're getting some rest. But other than that, everybody played, including your quarterback, Baker Mayfield. And to say the night for the starters went well is an understatement, man. Oh, my goodness. Absolute dominance. Dominance from your starters on offense and defense. Let's recap it for you. So toe hit leather Friday night on, I think that was News Channel 8, wasn't it? I think this one actually was.
It was News Channel 8. But dude,
actually was.
You know what I saw? It was on a different channel too. It was on 20. It was on more Tampa Bay. There was, dude, the Bucs preseason viewing experience has been crazy.
I know they gotta get that right
crazy
because, like I said, my whole life it's been 8. I turn on 8 the first weekend. I'm like, where is this game? I'm like looking around, like where is it? And I get some random sites like it's on a CW, and then I go on YouTube TV. I'm like, I don't have CW, but then it's like some other channel on YouTube TV like ATTV. I was like, what is
That's
this?
I'm saying.
What is this? But anyways,
They move it on the radio a lot, so I guess it makes sense.
well, it's been on 98 Rock for, 98 Rock with Gene Deckerhoff. Fire the cannons. Anyways, the Bucs, they said, we want the ball, baby. And they got the ball right off the rip. Baker Mayfield on the field. They go 7 plays, 70 yards. They got average of first down every single play, eat up 3 minutes of clock. Huge running holes. The offensive line looked great. Baker Mayfield on Miami's 32-yard line. He's looking for a deep pass. He throws between 2 Miami Dolphin defenders. Bah! Jalen McMillan snags it. Is he in bounds? The refs are saying incomplete. The refs then say complete. Then Mike McDaniels, the latest challenge flag I've ever seen. But somehow I feel like he threw that thing about 50 yards because, like, normally you're on the sideline. And then somehow that was, like, right there, like, right where the Bucs are on like the 5-yard line or whatever. So he launched that sucker. But anyways, they go to review. It stands. You look at the replay. Beautiful catch. He gets the cheek down. He gets the forearm down.
The elbow, yeah.
He gets all those things down, and that equivalents to a catch in the NFL. Very next play, 1st and goal to Miami 4-yard line. Rashad White right up the middle. The cannons are firing. What a beautiful sound to hear. That is the best sound ever when you hear those cannons going. Bucs are up 7-zip. And that was all Todd Bowles needed to see from the offense. Let's see the starting defense. Miami Dolphins get the ball. They could only manage 8 yards, and they got a punt. Kyle Trask comes into the game the next series. A little slow start, but, that there's more to come from him, that's for sure. Then on the ensuing Dolphins drive, they get to 3rd and 3 at Tampa Bay's 43-yard line. Mike White, the quarterback, Tua did not start. Mike White did. Former Jets legend. He's back in the shotgun, and bam! Sacked Chris Braswell. Chris Braswell gets a sack on 3rd and 13. The Dolphins are forced to punt, and the Bucs get a punt. And then we had the Dolphins go for it on 4th down. They don't get it. Tampa Bay is able to answer back with a field goal to go up 10-0. Dolphins, man, just getting stifled by this Tampa Bay.
Was that the 4th down play where they took away the scoop and score? Because that was not cool. That was they've robbed the Bucs of a scoop and score, man.
I can't remember.
Okay,
honestly.
I don't know, but that was.
I
all I'm saying is, if it was a real game, I would have been mad, man.
My memory's been shrouded this week. Let me just tell you. So, if I missed something, please forgive me, guys. Anyways, Dolphins try to go for it on 4th down, don't get it. Then it's a Kyle Trask show, leads the Bucs down the field. 9 plays, 47 yards, eats up almost 5 minutes of clock. And it would be a short pass to Ryan Miller for 10 yards. Touchdown, Buccaneers, up 17-0. But the Dolphins, I think the Bucs let off the gas a little bit. Dolphins get a drive of their own. 7 plays, 70 yards towards the end of the second half here. 2 minutes left. Skylar Thompson throws to Arucci for a touchdown, 17-7. Bucs try to get something going here, maybe a nice little 2-minute drill, and they did not, unfortunately. But they were able to stop the Dolphins, who had the ball at the minute and 29 seconds left. So we get into half, 17-7. Then after 2 punts in the second half, Miami starting to battle back. They get a drive of their own, 11 plays, 76 yards, 8 minutes of clock. What are we doing, Tampa Bay? And Skylar Thompson would pass it to McGowan for a touchdown at the Tampa Bay's 1-yard line, so it's 17-4. But Kyle Trask is not done. He wasn't done. He leads the Bucs right down the field with a touchdown of his own to Tanner Canoe, my favorite player, Tanner Canoe, over the shoulder. Gorgeous throw, gorgeous catch. The Bucs go up 24-14. Dolphins can't get anything on their ensuing drive. They try to score late with 5 minutes left, but they do not. Get is intercepted by Greer. That would end the game. The Bucs win 24-14, and they go 3-0, or they go 2-1. Sorry, in the preseason.
It was at 11 minutes left in the second quarter, fourth down play. Mike White ruled an incompletion, but man, I thought it was a strip sack, and Antonio Greer actually took it back to the crib for a touchdown, but it got overturned, unfortunately. One of those like expedited reviews too, so we didn't even get to see the replays.
Greer would have had 2 plays then.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, so he's electric. But I think we do it like this, guys. Let's talk starters first, and then we'll talk about the rest of the game. Anything that's not starters after.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I think we have to focus on the starters big time. I mean,
starters right now, baby.
I'm a little disappointed. I don't want to talk about the backups too much. We'll get to it. I don't want.
Your heart's broken.
I don't want to go there. It was a very rough weekend, okay? Very rough. And it just was the icing on the cake today when I saw that tweet. I cried a little bit. No. But anyways, that offense, man, wow. Everything was humming. The crazy thing is, too, the Bucs didn't even change personnel on that first drive. It was 11 personnel the entire time. Didn't change up any of their fronts or nothing like that. Ran beautiful plays that whole time. Dolphins had no answers for it. The running lanes, phenomenal. First play, man, I want to say it was Luke Gedeke driving this man, bullying him right down the field, 8 yards and pancakes. I'm like, goodness sakes. Man, like the Dolphins, do they not have like any of their starters in or something? That was Chop Robinson.
Wow.
That was Chop Robinson. Were we even talking about the show that we kind of wanted that guy?
We were talking about that, yes.
And Luke Gedeke just bullies him.
Hey, Luke Gedeke's been on a redemption tour since this time last year.
He definitely has all of those guys.
Yeah.
All of them on all the rushing plays, flying down the field, getting to the second level. That's what you really want to see. Open up those rushing lanes. I mean, you could have fit. I mean, I don't know. I'm slow, but man, I probably could have hit one of those holes, man. I probably could have. That's how wide they were.
Yeah, this drive of the Bucs offense was the definition of cruising down the field. I mean, I think they faced 1 third down, and it was 3rd and 1. I mean, just beautiful play calling. Like Will said, the holes and the offensive line and then the vision from Rachaad White, spectacular. I mean, you look at this preseason, the Bucs have averaged over 4 yards per carry throughout the whole preseason, and I was really interested, like, is this gonna keep up with the starting offensive line against some of the better? I don't think the Dolphins had full starters in, but they had enough of their mainstay players to kind of see, legit competition. And Rachaad White, he averaged over 4 yards per carry. So this was just great to see them continue this strong running game from the preseason with the backups to the starters. And, I mean, the sky's the limit for this Bucs offense. I don't know if I've been excited for a Bucs offense like this since 2021, man. And, I mean, before then, I am so excited to see what Baker and the boys do this year.
Yeah, and, I mean, just everything was working so well on that drive, and I love this stuff they were coming up with. I think the screen game was really good, especially it showed with the Rachaad White one.
Oh, it was a great play.
Chris
my gosh.
Godwin had one as well. And I just think, especially I look at Rachaad White, and I look at him as someone like a Christian McCaffrey. He can do it all. You could even say Alvin Kamara fits that role too. We see him a lot in our division. But someone who can run the ball right up the middle, eat some hits, break some tackles. But then on the flip side, he's a receiving threat. Absolute scary receiving threat. And I love that Cohen has seen that and has been utilizing it, because a screen game with him could be something so feared amongst the league, seeing Rachaad White catch passes out of the backfield.
And that was a beautiful play. It wasn't like, you're playing NCAA 25 and you're just running halfback slip screen, right? This was a beautifully designed play. It was a Baker rolled out one way, and Rachaad White just kind of snuck out the backside. It was beautiful. I mean, this is the type of creativity I'm dying to see from Bucs offense, and I haven't seen it with Leftwich. Haven't seen it since Bruce Arians. Let's just say that. Since Bruce Arians was in control of this offense. And even then, it wasn't this type of, that was more vertical passing. This is more, screen running game. But still, I love that play.
West Coast
style, baby.
And I think with mentioning Bruce Arians, this is probably the most complete the offensive line has been since the time of Bruce Arians, before Ali Marpet retired and stuff like that. So let the running game begin.
Absolutely. I completely agree. The schemes worked. The offensive line was creating massive holes. Graham Barton picked up right where he left off. It doesn't matter who he's blocking. He's going to maul ya. Cody Malk and Brenderson looked really good. I like to see what they were doing. And then obviously the tackles are going to be strong. That might be one of the strongest parts of this Bucs team in general. But yeah, spectacular. And then, to have Jalen McMillan run with the ones and, cement his wide receiver 3 position with a spectacular catch on that first drive was special, man. This Bucs offense is special.
Yeah, it gets me really excited. Really, really excited to see what this team can do. And I am more than ready to see them open up against the Commanders. I think that game's going to be fun. And for the rest of the year, I think it's just going to be a fun season, and I expect a lot. Do we have anything as far as offensive starters? I know it's one drive. It's really all we need to see.
Defense, 3 and out, baby.
Defense, 3 and out. Vita Vea killed a man, ruined his career. If that guy's not cut by the Dolphins, man, what are you doing? That's embarrassing. He did that to another grown man. But you know what? It's like Vita Vea. Come on, buddy. We need to see that all the time. I want to see those type of plays all the time.
Vita Vea is coming with a vengeance this year.
And I hope so. I really do. I was disappointed with him last year. I know he battled with some injuries, and he kind of has been like that, but I feel like there's some games. I look back to the Colts one last year where he kind of got bullied around. I want to see this Vita Vea all the gosh darn time.
And that may be something where they have to give him more rest because they're telling him, hey, you're only doing one drive today. And he's like, oh, one drive? I got this. And that's why we got the Vita Vea.
Yeah, maybe so. And that's why we boosted, more defensive line help, like drafting Clyde Jacansey last year. But yeah, we gotta see more of that. Vita should have a game. Who can say his full name?
Nope.
I will say also, you gotta think about the injuries. Injuries slow down anyone. Vita Vea is playing through injuries last year. You gotta think a fully healthy, a lighter one when in the experience. Usually when players get lighter, that's when they become less injury prone. That's just kind of how it's worked for a lot of players. Not everyone, but a lot of players. So I think we're going to have a healthier, faster, and more menacing Vita Vea this year.
Yeah, I hope so. Chris Braswell, man, he kind of seemed like he was a player of the game. Huge sack. That's what we've been waiting to see. Kind of made, I think it was 76 for the Dolphins. I don't know who that is. Made him look silly.
Yeah, it was just it was a speed rush, man.
Speed rush, but if you're getting off the ball that fast, hey, that's awesome. And I think it was the play before. You just see this blur of red fly up the screen because they were throwing that little short pass.
That was a great play.
He just flew across the screen. I think he got a piece of it. I want to say
he definitely made the quarterback throw a wonky pass, bro.
Yeah, so 2 good back-to-back plays, and that's what we're looking for. We've been saying it since day one. Can get some pressure. I know sacks isn't everything, but it also kind of is when you're an edge rusher. We need to see some of that projection, or at least some hurries. This guy, he wasn't really a big sacks guy, at least his final year at Bama, but he did lead the SEC in hurries. And we need to see some pressure. So if you're not getting there, we need to see some pressure. Felt like we haven't seen either. But Friday, I'd for sure say we saw both of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess we could just – anything else on the starters? We could get kind of overall game real quick, and then we can get the cuts.
Yeah.
I think got to start non-starters. The one that stuck out to me was Kyle Trask. You look at this game. I think we kind of talked about Kyle Trask and, not knowing if he was for sure the quarterback 2. This is a guy that, has lost the quarterback 2 battle before, back in the Brady era. And it was kind of concerning that this was a conversation. But, coming out in the preseason, Todd Bowles has really given a lot of props just on the way he was running the offense and the way he was playing. And I think this was his best game. You looked 17 for 24, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 113 quarterback rating. This was really good Kyle Trask. This was vintage Kyle Trask. It made me think he was wearing orange and blue again. Mm-hmm. So I love to see Kyle Trask succeed. That throw to Canoe on the money. Just a gorgeous throw from Kyle Trask. So, yeah, that's just kind of what I take away from this preseason is Kyle Trask is not only a certified quarterback too, he's a guy that if Baker goes down, I'm not going to rule out a Bucs win for that week if Kyle Trask is playing.
Yeah, he played phenomenal. I think we definitely saw him get better every single game, and I think like especially this one, he was able to avoid bad throws. He made all the right reads, and he was still able. Like he wasn't playing safe either. He was making the right reads, but making big throws at the same time. I'm not worried so much. I know like. He threw a pick against Cincinnati. Then he should have thrown a pick against the Jags. He
could have thrown 2 against Cincinnati too.
Yeah, he could have thrown 2. But we saw him be smart with the ball. And like Colby said, yeah, I think, again, if this guy gets in the game, I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all.
Is this one of those games? Is it one of those things where in the preseason they kind of tell him like, "Hey, test your arm," that kind of stuff? Or are they not doing that in preseason?
I think they usually do that for practice because like
I know they do that for practice.
Baker threw a lot of picks last year, and everybody's like, "Oh man, you know."
I was just wondering if they're doing that for the.
Well, they definitely want to see
preseason.
him. Yeah, they definitely want to see him push it downfield though, and I think they gave him more opportunity this preseason than they did last preseason or any of the preseasons or games before. So, yeah, I do think there was a little bit of like, hey, go out there. We want to see if we can really trust you with the offense. You know, if in case you're needed or in case John Wolford's the guy over you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was encouraging. I think as for the the other non-starters, I think the secondary was a lot better and pretty good this week. As you look over the game, the secondary had 4 pass breakups, and Dolphins quarterbacks as a whole had a 90.9 quarterback rating. So better secondary.
Marcus Banks killed a guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, he killed a man.
All right, that was early on too, right?
That was that was like the second drive. It was a beautiful hit. All legal, and there was some stupid offsides. Jose Ramirez, come on, man, come on, what are we doing?
Was he offsides more than once, or was it just one time? And I'm just remembering it.
I don't know if it's more than once, but he was on that one that kind of like, he kind of just fumbled over that huge hit, but it was awesome. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything else from the latter part of these games. This game,
I think defense. I know it wasn't all the starters in there, but I think just collectively because I wanted to see it. A lot of times getting too many third and shorts and not being able to get the stop, and I feel like the Bucs did very good in those situations. I know the Dolphins went for it twice on 4th down in the first half, were unsuccessful. One of those was a 4th and 4. I think the first drive. You get to a 3rd and 1, and there's a couple I think there's 2 or 3 3rd and less than 4 on the Dolphin series.
Dolphins were 3 for 12 on 3rd down.
Yeah, that's
great.
Money.
Yeah,
that is money.
Bucs were 1 for 10, so that's a little odd.
Not great. But we still scored some points and won the game. But I think it was just big to see that. And, like I said, there's not starters in there, and there's some guys who aren't even on the team anymore. But you just wanted to see that. You wanted to see them get off the field when it mattered, get those 3rd down stops. So I was happy to see that as a collective unit.
3 for 12 3rd down, 1 for 4 4th down. If we put up those numbers, we're going to get the ball to the offense because the offense is looking great. If the defense can be a little bit more consistent this year, I think the offense is going to be much, much more improved. So it's going to be a fun Bucs team if the defense can get off the field.
Yeah, and I think too when the starters were in, is stopping that run game. That was one thing that was big. Is I don't know what the Dolphins had on that first drive, at least with the starters in. I think maybe 2 yards rushing.
Yeah,
in 2 plays or something like that. And that's what you want. Like when you want to see a good Todd Bowles defense, can you shut down the run? Can you stop the run? 1st, 2nd down. Give it a 3rd and long, so then Todd Bowles can fire up the blitzes. He can change some stuff in his secondary, give you some different looks, maybe confuse you a little bit. That's what you want to see. When the Bucs are getting gashed, giving up 6 yards a pop, 5 yards a pop, whatever, and it's 3rd and short, your defense becomes a lot smaller in what you can do. So if the Bucs can continue to shut the run game down like that, that's what I'm saying too. Vita Vea, gotta see more of it.
Did Todd Bowles call the plays for this game? Do you know?
I did not hear who did.
Because I think we didn't mention it last week. I know we talked about it going into Jacksonville, right? That was that game. So I don't really know. I feel like if we haven't heard anything about it, it probably was Todd Bowles then.
Yeah, it was not that good.
No, it wasn't great. That is undeniable.
That's unfortunate.
Anything? Oh, special teams guy. We had a 50-yard field goal made.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Like I said, though, need 4 more.
Need 4 more, but
You do not get money back, McLaughlin.
hey, I will say that was a beautiful kick. I mean, about as straight down the middle as you can make a field goal. That was really encouraging. Also, if we're talking special teams, Todd Bowles went out and he kind of called out Jake Camarda this week.
Yeah, how did Camarda do in the game? I wasn't even thinking about it. You bring that up. Because there are rumblings that they could let him go. That could be a surprise cut from camp. Yeah, see,
It wasn't great.
3 punts for Camarda, average 42.3. One inside the 20, longest was 46. That's not terrible. But Nolan Cooney, man, this guy out of Syracuse, 2 punts, 53 yards per punt, average. No inside the 20. The
Come on,
longest
Jake.
was a 63-yard punt.
You were supposed to be the punter of our lifetime. Don't do this to us. Come on.
And I know as far as unless I missed it, which I usually don't. I feel like Twitter reads my mind a little bit because I think about guys, and
There's probably a way they can.
they definitely read your mind a little bit.
Let's not say that out
They
loud.
do because I'm on my lunch break.
Will Sturt's dead at 25. He realized that Twitter was reading his mind.
They're coming for me now,
Yeah,
guys.
they're coming for you.
They're coming for me. But it's I've said on the show, I know your phone listens to you, but I didn't know Twitter does too, and then pulls stuff up. Because, I told the show how much I love Canoe, texted some of my friends my love for Canoe. I guess I'll break the news now because we're just talking to I just opened up my phone. First tweet was about Canoe. Out of all the tweets I could have seen first, because it's like a For You page, it's like random. It's not even accurate times anymore. Like you can see stuff from the days before. Instagram's the same way. So it was like the first tweet was about Canoe getting cut. And it's like, how did it know that? How did it know I would need to see that and be upset?
It was just trying to ruin your day.
Maybe it was.
And we're talking more cuts. I mean, I guess the biggest name that got cut is Sterling Shepard, a veteran wide receiver that is kind of probably past his best days. But he came in to maybe be that 3rd or 4th or 5th wide receiver option. But the Bucs are too deep at receiver, man.
Just
I mean,
too deep,
McMillan,
yeah.
Palmer. I do think they said that he might go back on the practice squad and they'll save him a spot just in case of some injury.
But he was kind of battling with injuries anyway.
Yeah, he
Just
was.
couldn't
We didn't see him in the preseason,
No,
right?
we didn't.
Yeah,
He's been
that really
hurt.
hurts his case, man. That really hurts his case. A couple of shockers that stood out to me was C.J. Brewer, a guy who had a monster game on Friday and kind of had a really good preseason. He was cut. They're hoping to bring him back on the practice squad. And then Lawal Ugwak, another defensive lineman, he was cut too, and he had the highest grade out of any player, I think, in Jacksonville, right? Mm-hmm. Highest PFF grade. So those were the ones that stuck out to me for cuts, roster update.
Yeah, I mean, Canoe, obviously, he gets cut. That hurt my soul. Wells, the tight end, got cut. That's kind of a surprise.
Didn't they cut their long snapper too? Trier,
Yeah,
and
they
he's been
did.
there for a long
They cut
time.
him. Oh, no, I guess they did cut Cooney today. So, wow. By the skin of his teeth. Come on, Camarda. That's what I'm saying. You always bring, for special
Yeah.
teams, these guys get fat and happy, right?
Yep.
And you got to bring somebody in every year to compete with them. Because it doesn't matter. You can cut these guys. There's no reason to not bring like 6 of them in. Just scare them. So, Camarda, better show me something now. All right. Hayes, the cornerback, got cut. That was kind of big, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Kalen DeLoach, man. I guess he had a couple injuries towards the end because I was like going to say it. I don't even remember seeing them
that's just sad,
in this
man.
game or the one before. But maybe he can. I guess Greg Auman of Fox Sports, maybe he's a quiet Knowles fan because I reposted it and I was like, this is just terrible news or something. And he liked it.
Maybe. Hey, that's like pretty standard. There's a lot of Knowles Bucks fans because of the history, and they're both Florida. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then I guess another roster news. I was gonna say Preseason wise, I wish we would have saw Servachier, man. I know he's been banged up with injuries. That really sucks.
And he's
got to
be careful, man. You got to get healthy. We're going on year 2 now. I know he's a bit of a higher pick, but at some point they're going to replace you.
Yeah,
they're just going to replace you. And already, I mean, Britt has won that job. J.J. Russell has looked good too. So
yeah, I really want to see Servachier, man. We haven't seen him. I still
believe.
I believe in him too, but I mean, you got to get healthy at some point.
Yeah.
Another roster move. I think we already mentioned it, but we can say it again. Jalen McMillan is your wide receiver 3. He has beat out Trey Palmer, so he will be, when the Bucs go on the field with their starters, he will be one of those starters. Kind of, I guess, unfortunate. They said Trey Palmer's going to still play plenty of reps and get opportunities, but he just got beat up by a rookie. And I know we had really, really high hopes for Trey Palmer, and it's not gone out of the window.
Yeah, he didn't really lose it, I guess. But that just means, I think for Bucs fans going like, man, did Trey Palmer fall off? No, he didn't fall off like Taj Bradley. He just
stray.
He just got beat out by more talent. And sometimes that happens, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. McMillan was just that much more talented. We know what Trey Palmer can do, but that means we just have another weapon. Another weapon that Baker can utilize.
And I mean, like, what sold it for me is Jalen McMillan making that catch on the sideline. Trey Palmer had some loosey-goosey hands some butterfingers was the word I'm thinking of last year. A couple times I can remember.
Against the Saints.
Yeah, yes. Oh, my gosh.
They lost a game because of it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Exactly. And Jalen McMillan pulling that catch down, like, Trey Palmer has had some great plays. He's explosive. I haven't seen him make a catch like that in game.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm just saying I'm excited.
There was no yak on that thing.
Hey,
Palmer had the yak.
Yeah, he did have the yak. That's what will bring him in to throw a screen to him.
Exactly.
Yeah, Bucs offense.
Again, you don't know. Chris Godwin's probably gone, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
We've already spent too much money. I'm getting a little worried. Not that I have anything to do with it, but
Yeah, well, it was interesting, man. Jason Light was on the broadcast talking, and he was mentioning, I think you said it a lot, but man, the cap purgatory they were in, after the Super Bowl runs in 2021, and how they had to clean off and get rid of that and get out of the dead cap. And now they're in a great spot. They have all their main players locked down, and that's a lot of money tied up. But those are players that are going to help you for years to come. Uh-huh. So it's just really impressive what Jason Light and this front office has done for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just to get them out of this situation. And they never had to rebuild. They never had to have a bad year. They've been to the playoffs since Tom Brady was on the team, and he's been retired for 2 years. It's been a reload.
And that's exactly what I said last year. There was a couple guys on the show sitting next to me, both of you guys, saying, time to pack it up. The season's over. And I was like, hey, guys, come on. Just believe in this team. There's no reason to sell. There's no reason to throw in the towel. We have a good season. We reload. And we finally seen it. And again, like I said, I'm excited for the season.
I'm so excited.
I had to plug myself right there, man. Yeah.
I do remember. I was ready to give
up.
I was a believer.
I was a believer.
I was pretty out on the Bucs.
I mean, I wouldn't have minded having be 4 picks higher in the draft that
playoff. That playoff win is so valuable, man.
That was huge.
That was huge.
I mean, either or. I'd have taken either or.
Yeah, but
it's good we did it. It's good we did. I promise you. You want to reload. I think if teams can do it right and you have a good GM like Jason Light, it's crazy. I mean, 2 years ago I would have said Jason Light's the worst GM in Tampa. Now he's by far the best. By far the best.
I can't even fully blame 2022 on him, man.
I blame him. Like I said, they were in cap hell. I said this because a lot of people wanted to blame Bulls. A lot of people wanted to blame Brian Leftwich, which
was fair. He was not a good OC.
Which was fair, but it's do people realize now that Dave Canales wasn't the answer?
He's better though.
No, he wasn't. They were just as bad on offense. It was Baker that had to save him. Speaking of that, again, Dave Canales. Nobody should give this guy any credit. He's bad. He was a bad offensive coordinator. He was bad. But anyways, back to what I was saying originally. I know you were in cap hell, and like I said, I know you were in that. But with the little money you had to give some offensive line help. That's what they really needed. Offensive line for Brady. Maybe somebody to go in when Barrett went down. Instead, you signed 2 dinosaurs. You signed Kyle Rudolph, Julio Jones. That did nothing for you. Absolutely nothing. That was a mistake by Jason Light. You should have used that money for other things you actually needed. Those guys were useless. No offense to them. 2 greats. Julio Jones, probably a Hall of Famer. But you did not need to waste the little money you had on those guys.
I don't even want to talk about 2022 Bucs. That was such a not fun year, man. Yeah, I do think Dave Canales, he was better than Byron
He was a
Leftwich.
bum. No, he wasn't.
He's a good quarterback.
You look at
he's got to give him credit for helping Baker Mayfield out.
But
too.
I think that's it. No, Baker Mayfield saved him. He saved him so many times.
You got to give him credit for developing. You
No,
got to, because
Baker
he's done
Mayfield
it
was
with.
developed by Sean McVay.
You've got to
in
do
the
it
Rams.
by.
Dave Canales
He was
did
there
not
for
help
like
him.
3 weeks, man.
He was there longer. He was
he
there
was-
for like half the season.
He was not half the season. It was 6 games.
It doesn't
max.
matter. He had some off-season stuff with them. Baker Mayfield. They went to the postseason too. No,
Did they?
Not sorry.
I was like, no,
they
they
didn't.
didn't.
Stafford got hurt. I was confused. Anyways, no, that was Sean McVay. Sean McVay fixed him. Dave Canales did not.
Dave Canales' his biggest hater right here.
He was
you
bad.
You could take
and
that
it's
out.
like you just watched these preseason games. We just watched 3 of them. It's like, look how good the offense is now with the same guys. The same guys. It's really just Canales being bad.
All I'm saying is he might not be the best play caller, but I do think he helped develop Baker. I think this was a good.
I'm in the middle. I don't know. I was doing some quick checking and stuff. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but we don't need to. We need to wrap it up. No Bucs game this week. Nothing to talk about. No previewing.
Just
And
enjoy the off day.
less than 2 weeks though, Bucs football is back. That's music to my ears. I am thrilled to watch some Bucs football because, like Will said, it's going to be real fun. It's going to be a fun season, and that first game, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'll be there.
At home. That's awesome. So we'll have correspondence there. I'll probably be here watching the game.
We'll have to have some watch parties here
we
for
will.
sure.
We
it'll
will.
be great.
I was talking to Ethan about it. Ethan wants to come down for some TB3 watch parties. That's what we call
Down?
them.
Some of the like 4:00 games.
Yes.
Yeah.
It might have to be the first one. We might have to have
That
a
is
TV.
a 4:00 game.
Will might not be there, but that's okay. He'll be here in spirit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so leave a comment down below. Was Dave Canales the problem or not?
Or
what are
how
you guys'
about-
thoughts on Dave Canales? Or
Who was your favorite player to watch this preseason for your Buccaneers?
that's a good one too. Anything you guys want to, or if you want to comment something else, we are totally free to listen to what you guys have to say. But that's it for episode 53. Thank you guys for watching. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Comment those 2 things we just said. If you're on Spotify, hit the follow button. Hit the 5 stars. Share this episode with a friend because we got a lot of content, and I feel like we're doing a good job, and we know our stuff. So if you want someone else that you're close to know ball from this podcast, or if you're going to gatekeep, that's fine. I get it. But if you share the episode with a friend if you want to, we appreciate it. We appreciate every single one of you guys for listening, watching, or doing anything on any platform for us. And we hope you guys have a beautiful and blessed night.